What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with an Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a never used tier battle against Rasa, a person I battled off my Discord. Now, before we get into this Wi-Fi battle, if you guys are enjoying my Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle content and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it helps out the channel a lot more than you think it does, and it's just much appreciated. Now, my team is actually pretty cool. I have Power Trip, Incineroar, AV Lurantis, Poipole, and Stealth Rex Mudstail, and some other fun mons on there. My opponent's team is pretty cool. It's pretty threatening, but still pretty cool, not gonna lie. So we're just gonna hop right into this battle. He decides to lead off with his Kecleon, as I'm gonna decide to lead off with my Shit Horse. Very appropriate nickname for Mudsdale, if I do say so myself, though it's not as shit after I got access to Stealth Rocks, but it's still pretty bad. Turn 1, my opponent decides to lead up Stealth Rocks himself with the Kecleon, which is pretty good. For him, because, you know, Stealth Rocks are pretty good against my teams, because I always have something weak to Stealth Rocks on there, and no way of removing entry hazards, but I go for Earthquake just in case my opponent wanted to go for Stealth Rocks, and just so I can weaken the Kecleon, because having a Protean Prankster moves, it's just really, Protean priority moves rather, it's just really annoying to deal with, you know, Fake Out and Sucker Punch and stuff. So now my opponent is going to bring in the Beyblades, the Hitmontop, very original Hitmontop nickname, never seen that one before. And here I'm going to go for the Protect here just to scout out the Hitmontop's move, because Mudstail does carry Protect because I also carry Toxic, and you know, Jimmy taught me the Toxic Protect combination. Now my opponent actually goes for Toxic, so there's going to be a lot of toxicity in this battle, as you'll see. So now my opponent is going to pull a Hard Switch into his Oogly, his Garbodor, and I'm going to go for the Toxic here. That was a pretty smart move, bringing in his Garbodor. It's like he predicted the Toxic, he saw it coming, and now he's going to avoid the Earthquake, pull a switch back into his Beyblades, because I guess he wants to stack Intimidate onto my Mudstail just to make it do as little damage as humanly possible. I thought switching into Garbodor on my Mudstail was a little bit questionable, but it definitely makes sense there. Now I'm going to go for Stab Earthquake, and it still does a decent chunk to Hitmontop, not as much as I would like, but obviously I'm at -2 attack. And here I could go for Toxic and trade Toxic with the Hitmontop, but I decided that keeping my Mudstail healthy for the Lycanroc is definitely very useful, and I just need it to be healthy. So I'm gonna pull a Hard Switch into my Poipole, because I know I could take the Toxic and whatever move he wants to go for, because most Hitmontops carry like Rapid Spin, Close Combat, Toxic, and maybe like Foresight. I don't really know what move he's carrying. I should be able to tank whatever he does, because, you know, Hitmontop doesn't really normally carry a way to hit poison types if it's defensive. But of course, my opponent just happens to have Drill Run, because, you know, Drill Run Hitmontop, right? Yeah, so Poipole unfortunately does not appreciate that Drill Run. I just wanted to use the Poipole I soft reset for like 2 hours, so no. I guess my Poipole is just unable to do anything. I'm going to have to evolve it into the Broken Ultra Beast and then just use it in OU. But yeah, Sludge Wave at the very least gets a Poison Hacks. I would have really loved to use Poipole a little bit more, but unfortunately he has Drill Run Hitmontop. So I guess using it in the never used tier was a little bit of a stretch, but I thought this, you know, baby Ultra Beast could do something. It can also hold Eviolite, so I guess I should try an Eviolite set and not Life Orb, but I don't know. I just kind of thought of an offensive set and not really giving it Eviolite, but I'll have to give it a shot. So I'm gonna bring in Incineroar here, my Incineroar, another original, you know, nickname with, you know, Encina, you know, John Cena wrestler, LUL, and I'm actually gonna decide to go for the Flame Charge, I believe, because I could just knock out Hitmontop from this range of health, as my opponent is gonna bring in the Oogly here, the Garbodor. Very smart play in this part, because he's gonna force me to take Rocky Helmet damage. Garbodor is just so annoying to deal with, honestly. Aftermath plus Rocky Helmet, then the freaking hazard stacking is just, ugh. I hate it. But yeah, we're going to take Rocky Helmet damage, and I'm debating if I should try and set up on this thing. And since Stealth Rocks are up, I feel like it's now or never. So I'm going to go for Bulk Up here, because as you guys know, I have no form of hazard control. The only time I have hazard control is when I force myself to bring it. But usually I'm just like, I should be fine. And then I face like 18 layers of Stealth Rocks, and I'm like, oh, a little unlucky, but he's going to lay up a layer of Spikes. I'm just going to go for Bulk Up here, because I need to set up my stats as high as possible, because I am Power Trip Incineroar. So now I have 5 stat changes, which gives me 120 base power, and now my opponent is actually going to make a very big mistake, going for Drain Punch, which doesn't really do any sizable amount of damage, because we are Incineroar at +2 defense, and it's likely he has max defense, Oogly, Garbodor. So gonna get the weakness policy here, because you guys should have seen it from a mile away. If I'm running Power Trip or Stored Power, it is highly likely that I have a freaking weakness policy on the set. So gonna go for Power Trip here at like a lot of stat changes. I think it's like at 180 base power at this point, maybe a little less. But yeah, we're gonna take Aftermath damage and Rocky Helmet. So unfortunately, Incineroar is gonna live at 2 health. I definitely played this thing a little bit greedy, but I didn't really have many other options since I couldn't really set up on anything else. And now he's gonna bring in his Lycanroc, and I know this thing likely carries Sucker Punch, so I'm gonna have to play some mind games with him. And when you play mind games with Sucker Punch, it is definitely in the Sucker Punch's user favor, because like the worst case scenario, you fail the attack and then you have like 7 or 6 more attempts where I have to like, should I go for the offensive move? Is he going to switch up his move and kill me? But here I decided to just go for the attacking move because I really just thought like maybe he'll just, you know, pull the trigger and go for the offensive move, or the other offensive move. But no, he made the right play going for Sucker Punch. I should have definitely tried to use Sucker Punch for a mind game, but it is such a hard mind game to win. I have won them before, but it's really, really hard. It takes like, you know, usually in the 4th or 5th try, but I thought maybe because of those, you know, battles that maybe he would just do it on the first try for the, you know, for the memes. But no, whatever, not a big deal. Unfortunately, I couldn't just hard sweep with Incineroar, but there's always other battles to showcase that mon. Now I'm going to go for Contrary Superpower with my Lurantis, as my opponent's going to bring in the Bon Bon or whatever, the Simisear, and he's actually going to get an Ayapa Berry, I believe, or Agua Berry, one of those, an Agua Berry, yeah, and he's going to get 50% of his health, which is pretty cool. He's going to go for Flamethrower here. I don't know if he's like Nasty Plot Incineroar, or not Incineroar, freaking Simisear. They both have similar names, kinda. And I'm going to go for Superpower here, because I am AV Lurantis. We're able to stomach that Flamethrower and knock him out. Maybe I should have switched out there, but like, he has hazards up, so switching into Pokemon is just pretty difficult for me, because, you know, WeedleTwineedle has no hazard control, because that would just be too much. Now my opponent's going to bring in the Psycho here, and I should be able to live a Sucker Punch, but he's going to outspeed me here. I'm actually going to decide to save my Lurantis for Death Fodder, as I can actually bring in my Shit Horse here, because I can actually activate Stamina if I take a physical attack, which is very helpful for dealing with the Lycanroc. So I'm going to go for Stone Edge onto my Mudstep. We're going to tank it very nicely, and now we're going to activate our Stamina, which is going to give us +1 in our defense. And now we're going to activate our Key Berry, which is going to give us another +1 in defense, which is pretty helpful. So now we have +2 in defense, and this Lycanroc has no hope of touching me. So now my opponent's going to pull a hard switch and bring in the Beyblades, the Hitmontop as Death Fodder, as I thought he would bring in the Vaporeon here, because Vaporeon is a good way of dealing with my Mudsdale. So I go for Toxic, but he makes a smart move, just acting off his Hitmontop. And now I'm going to have to deal with this Hitmontop because it has Toxic, and I really don't want to tank a Toxic. But thanks to Jimmy, I do have a method of working around this thing. I do have the Spicy Protect, so much poison stalling in this battle. I do apologize for that, but I just didn't want to be poisoned here. So you're gonna avoid the poison thanks to our Protect. Shit Horse coming through. Thank you, Jimmy, for teaching me the Toxic Protect ways. And the Hitmontop is going to go down to the poison, thankfully. And yeah, at least pulled poison and Hitmontop, so it did do something at the very least. So props to Poipole. I'll have to use it more in the future. If it doesn't do anything, I'll have to evolve it into the Broken Ultra Beast. Now, my opponent's going to bring in the Ariel, the Vaporeon, and instead of saving this thing for the Lycanroc, I thought that trading Toxic with this thing would be a really good move, because if he has Heal Bell, that means he probably doesn't have Protect with Wish. Or I guess he could have like Wish Protect. Heal Bell, or no, he has Toxic, so it's unlikely he has Heal Bell. So we're gonna exchange Toxic here. You know, a lot of toxicity running around. It's like Verlisify LUL, and I'm gonna poison the Vaporeon, which I'll take poison the Vaporeon over my poisoned Shit Horse, because we already walled the stuff we needed to wall. Lycanroc, I believe, is still alive, but as long as this thing is remotely healthy, it's not that big of a threat, to be honest. So I'm going to bring an Exponential here, my Audino, expecting him to go for Scald, as my opponent is going to go for Wish instead, which is a smart move, because now we can Wish Pass into his Lycanroc pretty safely, because Audino really can't touch Lycanroc. My only offensive move is Double Edge, and the reason why I have Double Edge is because it's stab and it's at 120 base power, so at least it like hurts frail Pokemon. It doesn't really do much, but you know, it still chunks them for like 20 to 30%, which is pretty useful. And then any recoil damage you take, you usually get back with Regenerator. So I'm gonna actually set up a Reflect here, expecting the Lycanroc to switch in. If he went for Toxic on Audino, I can really care less, because you know, he's poisoned himself, so he won't win that matchup. Now he's gonna go for Stone Edge here, as we're able to, you know, face tank it thanks to our Reflect, and we're gonna go for the Wish just so we can live the follow-up attack. And I'm just gonna try and pass the Wish here, because Audino really can't touch Lycanroc. So I'm going to pull a switch into my Molly here, my Poliwrath, because I want to pass the Wish. If he goes for Sword Stance, that could be pretty scary. My opponent decides to go for Stone Edge once again. We're going to be able to tank it. He does actually get a crit here, but that's fine, because we did pass the Wish, so all of that health, give me that health. And Molly is looking pretty scary right now. I'm actually going to just go for the Z move, I believe, or what do I do here? I think I go for Belly Drum, because I didn't think Lycanroc can kill me unless he crits me with Stone Edge again, which would be unfortunate if that happened, but it's unlikely. So I'm gonna go for Belly Drum and get all of my attack +6 attack. And Vaporeon, I don't think it could really tank a +6 Brick Break. I don't see that happening, though Vaporeon is very, very bulky, so we'll see. We could potentially just go for Toxic, but I think the game is over at this point, because I should outspeed Lycanroc at this point. And Brick Break just knocks out the Vaporeon, thankfully, so now goes Vaporeon. And my opponent's last is the Psycho, the Lycanroc. I keep forgetting its name for some reason. And instead of killing it with Waterfall, I decided to just actually, yeah, it speeds me. It's kind of surprising. I'm actually Jolly, so it's surprising, yeah, it speeds me. But I'm actually going to decide to go for my Z move. Maybe he's a Scarf Lycanroc? I doubt it, but maybe he's Scarf Lycanroc. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to go for my Z move, and probably the ref looks very out there with that Z move animation. Wow. I'm gonna go for Hypnosis here, Z Hypnosis, because I wanted to showcase my opponent, my side, in case he hasn't seen it already. And I definitely did not need to do that, but you know, I'm trying to extend this battle for 10 minutes, you feel me? Got to get that ad revenue, so the Lycanroc is going to stay asleep, and I'm going to go for the Waterfall. I guess he's not choice because he went for Sucker Punch most likely, so I guess my Poliwrath is really slow. But either way, Waterfall is going to knock out the Lycanroc, and we're able to win the battle with a 4-0 victory. So despite the score, I think the battle was closer than the score let it out to be, IMO. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this Wi-Fi battle, as I got to showcase some pretty fun Pokemon. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it's much appreciated. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon would you guys like to see me use in my future Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any certain Pokemon you'd like to see me use, or if you have any certain movesets you'd like to see me use in my future battles. Leave them in the comments, as it's a great way to interact with my fan base, and I'm just interested to see what you guys want to see me use. But yeah, that's going to be the question of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the Wi-Fi battle. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye!